I think you need a hand. I think with the Bible, it is a 2,000-year-old book. I mean, that's when the ink dried, if you like, on the Bible was 2,000 years ago. And I mean, how many of us read books that are 2,000 years old? Euripides. Who reads? Apart from scholars and people who are very into that, you don't generally pick up a very old text and read it, and you need help to understand it.
Well, you do, and one of the biggest questions of all is, of course, what was culturally relevant then, but not today. That colours many texts and scripts, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, if you go to the book of Leviticus, I think it is, there are several chapters on mildew, the importance of not having mildew in your tent.
Right.
Now, that's not so relevant now, unless you're kind of camping, and you're in the rain.
Yeah.
So, but that was a really important issue for people who are living in tents in the wilderness, in the time of Moses. So you've got to read the Bible and understand, well, that's why those chapters are there, because it was important at the time. But obviously, there are lessons you can learn from that, if you like. I'm not sure what they are.
But there are symbolic things as well, like not wearing a shirt made of two different kinds of cloth, for example.
Yeah.
Is that still relevant today, or wasn't that a picture of something that we're to understand, a wholeheartedness, a single-mindedness that God wanted us to have?
I'm not sure what it was at the time, why it was you weren't allowed to mix two types of cloth. So I put my hand up to that.
Okay.
I don't know. But in fact, it's not relevant now. So I mean, I'm probably wearing all sorts of materials which might fall under that ban, but it's not. That's kind of.
But
not.
Once you get to that point, of course, you get to the point of saying, well, what else is not relevant? What about the bit about homosexuality, for example? I mean, to jump right into it, I don't want to get into that now, but how much do you say is relevant then? Not relevant now.
Well, yes, and I mean that's the big debate, isn't it? I think the Bible is a conversation. I mean, my feeling after years and years of reading it is that parts of the Bible are in conversation with other parts. So there are some parts which say you mustn't do this, and then Jesus comes along and says, well, actually,
but I say to you,
you should do this.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. You must turn the other cheek, and you must do all the other things. And so there's a kind of deeper interpretation of the Old Testament going on in the life of Jesus, and you have to read it understanding that these parts of the Bible are in conversation with each other.
Yeah, it's certainly worth reading it from all sorts of points of view. I love all the cultural references to society as well in some of the Old Testament books, like "Woe to you builders," it says in Isaiah, "who build houses close together with no space between."
Yes.
I love. I mean, there's some such sensible stuff in there.
Yes, I mean, the Bible's very good, because we tend to think. I think Christians tend to think it's all spiritual. It's all about me. It's all about how does this work for my life. But when you look at the kind of social aspects of the Bible, they are concerned for how people live together and work together, and about justice issues, and how justice is done in society, how you have a society which is fair. So if you look at the book of Amos, for example, one of the books obviously I've covered in the Bible from scratch. Martin Luther King and various other people, Gandhi, quoted Amos and said, this is an amazing book. It talks about justice, about doing justice, not just saying the right things and appearing to be a spiritual person, but you've got to do the right things by your neighbour. Yeah. So these are still key issues, and the Bible speaks directly into them.
Why not start your day with Inspirational Breakfast, Monday to Fridays from 7 a.m, only on Premier Christian Radio, where faith comes to life.